Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, so this is
yes,
the topic of discussion for today that I'd like us to discuss is the outcomes of Kundalini awakening. But before that, we have a visitor. Let me say hi to the visitor. Hi Bule. Is this Bule, my friend from South Africa? Hi Bule. Waiting for you to join. Bule 2K82. No, this is not the Bule I was thinking, but Bule is Bule. Okay, so John, as he joins, as Bule joins, I'm feeling you are in with the topic of discussion: expanded consciousness, moment of unity, bliss, ego dissolution, direct awareness of the eternal. And before we begin the discussion, I'd like to look up what this means in Buddhist literature. In Buddhist literature and practice, not necessarily the Buddhist religion. Okay, so and I want to read out for you if you can hear me. So, expanded consciousness in the Buddhist frame means unity, bliss. I mean, unity, bliss, ego dissolution, direct awareness of the eternal. This resonates strongly with Buddhist accounts of meditative absorption, the realization of emptiness, and the liberating vision of nirvana. Okay, so I will read the first one: moments of unity. In texts like the Samyutta Nikaya, the Buddha describes the mind entering states of collectedness, where the sense of inner and outer no longer clash. The barrier between observer and observed dissolves. Consciousness is not fragmented but gathered into one stream. This is often expressed as the unification of mind. In Mahayana writings, this unity matures into the non-dual vision, seeing that samsara and nirvana are not two, self and other not two. The Bodhisattva's compassion arises precisely because this unity is experienced not as theory but as direct seeing. Number two, on bliss. The jhana, which is bliss, states are explicitly described as suffused with bliss. Yet, the Buddha constantly warned that this bliss is not to be clung to. It is a byproduct, a fragrance of deepening absorption, not the goal itself. Later Mahayana texts speak of the bliss of Dharmakaya, not pleasure bound to sensation, but the joy of resting in the nature of mind, luminous and unconditioned. Bliss here is the natural expression of freedom from craving. Number three, ego dissolution. This parallels the Buddhist teaching of anatta or no self. In profound meditation, the ordinary sense of I am the thinker, I am the controller evaporates. Thoughts arise and fall like clouds, sensations flicker like sparks, but no central self is found behind them. As the Visuddhimagga puts it, one realizes, quote unquote, there is suffering, but no sufferer is found. Deeds exist, but no doer is there. This is not annihilation, but clarity. The recognition that self was only ever a construct. Number four, direct awareness of the eternal. Buddhism avoids calling nirvana eternal in the way of a permanent substance, but it does describe it as the unborn, the deathless, the unconditioned. In the Udana, the Buddha declares, there is, monks, an unborn, unbecome, unmade, unconditioned. Were there not this unborn, there would be no escape from the born, the made, the conditioned. Thus, when expanded consciousness opens into the eternal, it is a recognition of the deathless element, a direct intuition of nirvana beyond arising and passing. In terms of synthesis, so what Kundalini traditions describe as expanded consciousness aligns with Buddhist literature in this way. I think this is self explanatory. So, the essence converges as follows. When consciousness is freed from its habitual grasping, it expands into a boundless clarity where suffering cannot take root. That's, that's the end of the reading, Mr. John.